Hi, I'm Andrew with Investors Hub here with the CEO of ADVFN, Clem Chambers. We're going to talk about cryptocurrency and decentralized finance today. And if you're not already there, check out our U.S. website, investorshub.advfn.com, or our international website, advfn.com. And without further delay, let's hear from Clem. So I've heard cryptocurrency be described as decentralized finance in general, but now I'm seeing this new shortened version, DeFi. So is this a further decentralized version of cryptocurrency? Are we going to be moving away from mediums like Coinbase?
No, DeFi is just a new part of the cryptocurrency blockchain universe. So initially, when Bitcoin came out, it was just a way to have digital currency. And then Ethereum came out, which was a kind of different take on Bitcoin. And the people behind Ethereum added a computing level to it. So it wasn't just a blockchain that had money, it was a blockchain that could do some computing. So it was a decentralized computer. Well, so you've got digital gold, Bitcoin, and you've got this decentralized computing platform with a coin, Ethereum. Now, because Ethereum is a computer, a distributed computer, decentralized computer that runs on a network, and that might sound, well, what does that all mean? Well, basically anybody that's running the Ethereum blockchain has connected to a computer that can do a transaction and can do a calculation and can run a computer program on that blockchain. Now that enables Ethereum to act like a bank. And when you think about it, what you do with the bank is you give them your money and they then do computing with it. You know, they lend it out, they pay your interest, they keep track of your payments, et cetera, et cetera. That's really a computing task these days, and very much so these days. Well, Ethereum can do that, but without bank managers and without people working at the bank and tellers and bank management, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And that is what DeFi is, or part of what DeFi is. So that the cryptocurrency blockchain idea has been parlayed into the ability to create decentralized, permissionless, robotic financial services. And that's what DeFi is. And that is exploding right now because we all know that everybody hates banks. And we all know how much of trouble it is dealing with financial institutions, whether they be insurance, whether it be banks, whether it be currency transfers, whether it be stockbrokers, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And this delayers all those elements because you get presented by the Ethereum blockchain with these computer programs called smart contracts, which do certain financial jobs for you. And all you do is give them your money and they do those jobs. Now, that might sound a bit strange, but for example, let's just say you have some cryptocurrency and you want to lend it out. Well, these smart contracts will do that for you and sort out all the interest payments. And there's nobody to call, there's no management to take a fat cut, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So it's a very efficient way to actually bank your cryptocurrency and earn interest. And the interest rates are astounding. But when you think you might get 1 or 2% from a old-fashioned bank, but then you take away their big buildings and you take away their CEOs on 100 million a year, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Well, they would be able to afford to pay you a lot more than 2%, wouldn't they now? And that's what these Ethereum smart contracts are doing. So even the most conservative DeFi projects are paying 5 or 6 or 7% on your money. And, you know, that is quite remarkable. So this is a whole new area. It really only took off this year. And the values of these projects are exploding. And when you actually look at the creativity that's going on and the quality of the technology that's being created, it's massively exciting. Because you can imagine if you can computerize and remove and make robotic financial service industries, how much value will be released, how much more money there are for the user base, for the customers, as opposed to the people that are supplying you with these services, and all the new and amazing products that could be generated by this new technology. So this is really a revolutionary change. This is the most exciting development that I've seen since .com. So in the last 20 years, and I've been, up to my ears in all this, investing in it, and it's consistently paying me out. So it's, it's a fantastic place to be. And behind all that, Bitcoin's going through the roof. and so is Ethereum, which are kind of the master coins behind the blockchain and crypto. So at the moment, it's win, 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 win. And, what could be better than that?
So you mentioned that the great interest rates that people are getting from their deposits in Bitcoin being because of lower overhead from the banks. Is it also because that the people that are accepting these deposits, do you just feel very strongly that cryptocurrency is going to increase in value?
Well, it's your Bitcoin, so they don't make any money out of Bitcoin going up. What's going on is these companies can actually lend out Bitcoin at a good rate of interest, and they're passing it on. So that's the major driver behind it. But then there's a whole complicated world of what's called stablecoins. So I could take my dollars, I could put them into a stablecoin like a USDT, Tether, or USDC, which is something that Coinbase supports. And it always remains a dollar. I mean, it can go up to $1 and a cent, and it can go down to 99 cents, but generally speaking, it's a dollar and around a dollar. Well, if I put my cash into that, I can then lend that stablecoin out and get 3, 4, 5% on that. Well, that is way, way more than I can get with the bank. And the worst that can happen is that I can end up buying it at $1.01 and selling it at 99 cents, which would be a 2-cent loss. And I'm up 3 or 4% on it. So, these stable coins add an opportunity to get rid of fiat and put it into crypto and then lend it out. And that's what a lot of these DeFi projects are doing. And there's a lot of risks that go alongside all these things, of course. And it's not really an area for anybody that doesn't know anything about it. But this area is going to be so huge that you owe it to yourself to skill up and learn all about it and get in there and find out, what is blockchain, what is Bitcoin, what is Ethereum, what is DeFi, how does this stuff work? And you don't have to really take any financial risk to do so. But it's a massive financial risk if you do not get up to speed on what this stuff is. In the same way as if you don't know about the stock market, it's a massive financial risk, because if you've been buying decent shares over the last 10 years, you would have made a lot of money. And if you haven't made a lot of money, well, that's kind of a loss, isn't it? I mean, profits that you don't make are almost the same as losses, in the same way as losses that you don't make are almost as good as profits. So people should think beyond just actively doing stuff and think about the passive aspect of investing. And, if you don't learn about Bitcoin and Ethereum and DeFi, you really are risking missing out on the biggest revolution that's come along since, 2000. And, that's a huge financial risk for most people, because missing the boat is not a good thing. And not knowing about these things is not a good thing if investment is the thing that you want to do. You invest. If you're watching this, you're an investor. As an investor, you wouldn't dream of not skilling up on stocks and shares and bonds. And you look at somebody that wasn't prepared to make that effort as, really silly. And it's the same when it comes to crypto. You'd be silly not to find out all about this stuff. And I think that's the first step for anybody that's not totally into crypto, is find out about it, learn about it, scale up with it. DeFi is going to be absolutely massive in the next 10 years. And not being in it is like not having been in Apple for the last 10 years. A bit of a tragedy.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to check out our website, investorshub.advfn.com. And on that same website, we have a board in the forums called Market Vision, which you should go check out as well. We're also on Twitter @InvestorsHub. Both of those will be linked down in the description. And see you again soon.